Hey, welcome to Take 10 today. I'm working on act without hesitation. And I know that Jesus Christ will never ask you to do what you have not been equipped for. And part of the Take 10 is a daily 10 minutes that you take time out and we talk to you about all kinds of things. Not only the ministry toolbox where we break apart not-for-profit things that you have to know and the education that you have to have in the non-for-profit world, but your ministry, your idea, the thing you hope to do, what you have in your hand. That's where we were at yesterday was just Moses. He was going to lead the entire nation of Israel out of Egyptian bondage. But he had to have, personally, not what other people had. He could not go there as the representative of someone or some entity. He had to go there as God's man or God's woman. And he had to be equipped to lead them out. He could not lead them like he had been raised. Raised in the household of Pharaoh, he had been raised to have a royal scepter. God had to remove him from that. It came after a failure of Moses in which he murdered a man who was creating an injustice, beating a slave, one of his own household, and he just couldn't handle it anymore. And he fled, he ran, but this time he did not run. God called him to do it. The voice of authority came. He said, I only have this rod. And God showed him how to throw that rod down, and it became something he was not aware of or did not want in his life. He was able to pick that thing back up, and now he has confidence. So today we're going to begin to work through the mechanics of acting without hesitation. I've been talking to you about things in my life to build your faith and to cause you to dream again, cause you to think again. And if you're in a place where you think you're just in the second best, maybe you're a Moses hanging out in the desert, waiting, learning new skills to go for the next place. But if you feel you're not equipped to do the job, perhaps you are looking too far down the road. You know, we want this instant this and instant that. The Bible said it's not wise to compare yourself one with another. So don't compare your ministry, your church, your nonprofit. Don't compare it to anybody else on the planet. You only have your race to run. You have what you do, and you have what you have to be responsible for. He just simply wants you to answer the question. What do you have in your hand? What can you do with what you have? He already has the what. I mean, you have the why, but he has the what and the who that he puts in your life to make things work on a day-to-day basis or a weekly basis. When you answer, you must answer without hesitation. You have to act without hesitation, and your answer is an action. And many people answer with many different ways, and you know that negativity is 99.75% of our answers. Positivity and being faith-filled just somehow is a lost art. And when you hear somebody talking about what they believe God can do and what they believe that he is the end product, we look at them strange. I hope I never do. I hope I never question you when you tell me that you're believing God for the great things. I want to partner with God. And why does God have me here in your life? Because I understand that you have the beginnings of the end that Jesus Christ had in mind. And I'll remind you again, Jeremiah said that God said, I know the thoughts I have of you, they are good and not of evil. They come to a good end. They come to a mountainous end or a plain end. It doesn't matter. He has in mind how he wants to see you grow. So let's talk about acting without hesitation. I'm going to put a couple of things in your head over the next few days. But number one, I want to talk about being conscious of the underserved around us who need what we are able to do. I'm a little worried about people who have to be in a certain neighborhood to do their ministry, or have to be among a certain clientele, or have to be at the country club. Now, I like the country club. I like a fine, refined atmosphere as well as anyone. I've been in the cathedrals of the world, not as a guest, but working there, being with men, working as a prelate and a pastor. I understand what it is to be in high places. I've been with presidents, I've been with governors, I've been with senators, I've been with high-ranking church officials. But let me tell you, that's not who we are. You must have a consciousness of the underserved around you who need what you are able to do. If only the underserved around you are the up and outers, then you have a false picture. You have to be conscious of the underserved in the up and outers and in the down and outers. We don't fit in either category because I'm neither up nor down. I am in the middle of the will of God, and I trust Him to take care of me. I know it may be cliche to you, but He's always made a way where there is no way. I do have over 45 years under my belt serving God. Oh boy, I could pile the mistakes up I've made. I have detractors who can spend hours telling you the mistakes I've made. That doesn't matter. What I care about is what does my conscious mind say? Because it leads you to a principle that Jesus Christ tried to put forth the very beginnings of the feeding of the 12 that were around Him. He had fishermen. They had been doing business one way. That's the only way they knew how to do business, was fish, or be a lawyer, or be an accountant, or be a publican, or a tax operator, or a doctor. They did not know how to operate by faith, and their mindset caused them not to act on what they had. They were a part of, well, we have to have this, this, and this, and this to make it forward. Anytime someone is serving you on any one of your boards, or if you're on a board and you're listening to this, do not serve the leader with questions. Do not try to bring them to a level that even you are not yourself. Any life that is not managed by faith in God and walking by faith cannot assist someone who is actually being led by faith. Walking by faith is either following someone who's been led by faith or having the leading of the Holy Spirit that God lays upon your heart, that you're following that leading so that you begin to act without hesitation. When you begin to be conscious of the underserved around you, you will find a need of what you are really able to do in life. I know in my life, when I find things that need done, I now have enough contacts to be able to start working on it. And then there's things like I got an email today of a prayer concern of someone, a certain segment of society that is in desperate need of help, asking, do you have someone in that area? Do you have someone that can take care of this? Immediately, I have to look in my hands and see what I have. Is that a question that I can answer? I can do one thing about it. I can pray and speak life into the request. I can pray and believe that the answer to that request will come to pass and that person will have the group that they need to be in to meet their needs. We cannot be like Christ, be all things to all men. Paul said we need to try that, but really you can't fulfill every request that comes at you, but you cannot be closed off either. When I get a prayer request like I received just before I started this segment of Take 10, I did not know, I had not been conscious of that particular problem. It is a problem. I didn't say, well, somebody will figure it out. That's the world. That's calloused board members. That's calloused directors of corporation. If it's been brought to you, you can do one thing. You can speak life into it. You can ask. You can move around. You can look at yourself and say, if this is something I'm supposed to help with personally, then God will have given me the what and the who. Maybe I don't remember. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I overpassed it. Maybe I walked past it. Maybe I didn't do and prepare in that area. Lord, help me to bring what's in my hand to fruition to help this person. But I want to show you how he began to teach the 12 to be reactive, to act on what they had, not on what they didn't have, to move forward. And incidentally, the restaurateur that I told you about, Years later, I preached a message on this very story. He came up to me afterwards and he said, "This is my favorite Bible story. I use this in my business." So heads up, I'm going to show you what portion he used. John 6, the book of John 6, 1 through 4. Don't rush to get your Bible. Just go. You only got a few minutes here with me. Just go read it later. But let me read these scriptures to you. Sometime after this, Jesus crossed to the far shore of the Sea of Galilee. Now they're in college. He's teaching his disciples how he wants them to operate. That is the Sea of Tiberias. Verse 2. And a great crowd of people followed him because they saw the miraculous signs he had performed on the sick. Now, if he was ever going to get it past him, he knew the cross was in his future. He knew giving his life for us that we might be saved was in the future. He knew of the blood that would have to be shed. To make it happen, he had to get it past him into them. Are you going where God's taking you today? Are you with Jesus Christ right now? Maybe you need to realign yourself so that you can learn from him to act without hesitation. Tomorrow, we're going to go right back into this, or the next time on Take 10, if it's a Monday through Friday, it may not be tomorrow, but Jesus is crossing to the far shore of the Sea of Galilee, which is the Sea of Tiberias. Great crowds are following him, but he's trying to get it past himself and into people like you. I want you to learn to act without hesitation. God bless you. Have a fantastic rest of your day and look forward, not backward.